Dear Susanne, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot to everybody, mainly Mechthild and Christina. I really appreciate that you came after that intensive weeks in St. Petersburg, and I am sure that you can tell us a lot of what happened there. I attended only 1 week, and I was happy that I could go back to Germany. Okay, distinguished guests and, of course, students, everybody, colleagues. It is a pleasure for me to open this session here, and it is under the topic Constructing Heritage in the Light of Sustainable Development. And I would like to say that the topic and the focus of this academy are connected to the activities of the UNESCO World Heritage Center on the occasion of the 40th anniversary of the World Heritage Convention. 40 years. This is incredible and unbelievable. And I think we have reasons to celebrate that. The analysis of exactly this topic should motivate, from my point of view, the heritage community to address in theory and in practice the challenges of globalization pertaining to the sustainable protection and sustainable use of heritage. The other issue is that sustainable development is not possible without including the local stakeholders. I do not need to account for the chosen motto. Instead, I think it is not, no, it's okay, thank you. I would like to go a step further and propose the hypothesis that mankind's heritage is both representative of and a tool for human development, and this will be the mission, our mission, and the idea we will work on in the next 2 weeks. Human development is not possible without the participation of actors within their own development. We will therefore need to make every effort to put the socioeconomic, and you see this is my issue, socioeconomic and political, cultural potentials for development of mankind's heritage into practice. To accomplish this, more than one summer academy will be needed. By establishing a series of summer academies, we therefore go beyond the goals as expressed by the anniversary of the convention. The political strategies, as stated by the different World Heritage Committees, presently encompass, for example, the demands to integrate local population into the nomination process, the demands to protect and use the sites in a sustainable manner, and the demands to re-establish between the thematic, regional, chronological, and typological kinds of sites. Successively, we would like to add also a systematic, disciplinary, and interdisciplinary oriented approach. We would like to improve the prospect of their success by connecting theory to practice, and this will be the challenge for all of us in the next 2 weeks. The institutional and staff framework of our summer academy has been provided by, as my colleague said, the International Graduate School, which exists since 2010. The International Graduate School Heritage Studies at Cottbus University, IGS, has 4 main research areas. The first one is intangible heritage, religion, identity, and diversity. Our PhD students, a lot of them, are involved in that issue. The second one is sustainable protection and use of heritage in the context of global change. And you see here we go a step further compared to the program World Heritage Studies, as it was established as master's program. We have the very important issue of cultural landscapes, and I had a discussion with Christina on that active idea behind that, and I think it is absolutely important to go further and to develop this concept here. And last but not least, we have a new approach developed, which we discussed. It is mediation of heritage through innovative technologies. We are thinking on the program Memory of the World, and we have one student here writing a PhD on that issue. So also here, a new approach between informatics and social and cultural studies can be developed and is on the way to be developed. So international PhD candidates research these topics of our international graduate school, heritage studies, in form of doctorates, as it has been said. The candidates are supervised by established experts of all our university faculties within the framework provided by the structured doctorate PhD program. And exactly these colleagues contribute substantially to this academy. To all of you, thanks a lot for coming and for providing your expertise. As already mentioned before, this summer academy with the topic Constructing Heritage in the Light of Sustainable Development represents the first of temporarily 5 academies which build on one another. The academy defines the framework which is necessary in order to learn about heritage transformation processes that have been triggered by globalization. For this academy, we intend to identify the main chosen topics within the context of the comprehensive theme Constructing Heritage, as I mentioned before, in the light of sustainable development. Constructions of heritage under conditions of globalization contain, therefore, theoretical and practical challenges. I give you only one picture here. I will come back to that picture later in my keynote because it is really amazing what is going on in the world. So they can be mastered only with difficulties solely by the classical disciplinary and interdisciplinary approaches or by UNESCO's expertise and advisors alone. In this respect, it is important to broaden the existing discourses with those of heritage studies. This can be accomplished in different ways, as I will explain later in my keynote. Here, with our first academy, we will develop mainly a disciplinary structured system to get an idea of the spectrum of disciplines that act within the context of heritage. The question is how heritage is constructed in connection with tangible, intangible, and natural heritage under human, ecological, heuristic, planning, ecological, anthropological, cultural, or social scientific aspects, as well as under aspects concerning, dear colleague, architecture and art history. The question is also whether and how already inter- and transdisciplinary knowledge is present within these constructions, or whether this discussion should rather be considered as multidisciplinary. To my knowledge, this has not yet been addressed in this context. We are focusing not on the scientific discourse as such. We are rather interested in working on the topic of heritage transformation, which is shaped by globalization, to gain a deeper and holistic understanding. The aim is to develop not yet identified awareness and practice possibilities. In other words, we are interested to extend the political, practical discourse by including an academic one, as well as a disciplinary, interdisciplinary, and systematic one. In addition, we would also include a discourse which does not claim sustainability in a populist way, as it is mentioned in many cases, but which examines issues from a specific scientific perspective. These discourses should be anchored within heritage studies, reserving the argument it would be important to ask if it would really make any sense to comprehensively protect a site under the conditions of globalization to constitute disciplinary points of view. Against this background, the participants should be empowered to identify gaps in basic research and practice-oriented research. Research them scientifically and, if possible, to close these gaps within the comprehensive heading, heritage, transformation, processes, and human development, as I have mentioned that before. In this respect, the framework will be defined through this first academy, which should present what we would like to consider prospectively, and now listen very carefully, the Cottbus approach of heritage studies. Thank you very much.